Today's journey doesn't end in death. It begins there, because for Nikola Tesla and his greatest rival Thomas Edison, the boundary between science and the afterlife wasn't a wall. It was a frequency, one they believed they could tune into, and both of them tried. And if you're curious enough, or bold enough, I'll show you how you can build your own version of Tesla's device at the end. In 1882, Nikola Tesla stepped into Edison's world, a rising engineer with a mind like no other. He joined Edison's company in New York, and for a while their paths ran side by side. But they were never equals. Edison was the king of practical inventions, a hand-on tinkerer, willing to fail hundreds of times to force a breakthrough. Tesla? He saw the future in his head before even touching a single tool. He calculated, theorized, and perfected on paper. Tesla worked tirelessly for Edison, even redesigning critical electrical systems. But when he asked for the $50,000 Edison had jokingly promised for improvements, Edison laughed him off. Tesla resigned the same day. The break wasn't just professional, it was personal, and it sparked one of the most famous rivalries in scientific history. Their Cold War exploded into what became known as the War of Currents. Edison backed direct current. Tesla championed alternating current, which could travel farther and power entire cities. It got ugly. Smears, stunts, even public executions to paint alternating current as dangerous. But Tesla's system won. Edison never forgave him. And Tesla? He moved on to something even stranger than electricity. Science has a rule. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, it only changes form. That's not a belief, it's a law, the first law of thermodynamics. Tesla took it further. If energy persists, what happens to us when we die? The human body generates electromagnetic fields. Tesla believed those fields, those echoes, might linger. And if they did, he wanted to hear them. He began speaking publicly about a receiver, not one to detect the lightning or stars, but something closer, something human. He called it a spirit radio. This wasn't just speculation. Tesla filed patents, conducted late-night experiments, used crystal radio circuits sensitive enough to pick up signals that had no known source. At first, Edison mocked him, until Tesla made headlines describing strange transmissions, voices, conversations in an unknown language. Most dismissed it as eccentricity, but Edison didn't. Quietly, he began working on a device of his own. He called it the Ghost Phone. In 1920, Edison invited a small circle to his private lab at Menlo Park. Scientists, journalists, spiritualists. And at the center of the room was a strange contraption. Part projector, part sensor. It cast a beam of light into a photoelectric cell, designed to detect even the smallest interruption. The theory was simple. If a spirit passed through the beam, the meter would jump. Candles were lit, the lights were dimmed, and the séance began. Mediums whispered in the dark. Some claimed they could feel a chill, a shift in the air. But the meter, it never moved. Still, Edison called the experiment valuable. In his mind, failure was just another data point. He continued refining the Ghost Phone in secret. Edison died in 1931, and when his papers were reviewed, nothing. No blueprints, no machine, no reference to the Ghost Phone in his journals. But we know it existed. Whatever he built, whatever he found, was either destroyed hidden, or lost. Tesla's attempts came decades earlier. In 1899 in Colorado Springs, Tesla was alone in his lab high in the Rocky Mountains, surrounded by a storm-scarred landscape and a tower bristling with coils and copper. That night he was running experiments on a crystal radio. No external power, no generator, just a receiver pulling energy straight from the air. The room crackled with static and soft blue flashes from his equipment. And then he heard something. Not lightning, not cosmic noise. Voices. Faint at first, like they were drifting on a distant current, but then they grew clearer. Patterns, tones, conversations. He couldn't understand the language. It wasn't English and wasn't German. He couldn't even place the rhythm. Some voices spoke slowly, almost like they were aware of being recorded. Others came in clusters, overlapping and whispering urgently, as though reacting to something or someone. And then there were the pauses. Moments of total silence, as if something on the other side was listening back. Tesla later wrote in his notes, "My first observations positively terrified me. I felt as though I was listening to voices of people from another world, although I knew that such was not the case." He never said they were spirits, but he never said they weren't. He was shaken, and for Tesla, a man of numbers and structure, to admit fear? That meant something. What he heard wasn't just noise. It was intentional. It felt directed. Some believe he intercepted radio waves from distant broadcasts, distorted by the atmosphere. Others think it was early evidence of EVP, electronic voice phenomena, before the term even existed. But Tesla never found a source. He kept building, kept listening, and whatever it was, it kept whispering. Tesla believed souls were energy, and energy doesn't die. After the horrors of World War I and the Spanish flu, spiritualism surged, especially among scientists. Grief made skeptics curious. Many, like Tesla, believed that if spirits still existed, it was only a matter of tuning in. The belief gave rise to EVP, voices captured on tape, not heard during the recording, only during playback. Sometimes they mutter, sometimes they answer questions. Modern ghost hunters still use tech based on these same principles, and some still report voices. Tesla's spirit radio can still be replicated. Hobbyists online have built versions of the device using his old patents. Simple crystal receivers paired with modern audio outputs. People claim they hear things. Clicks, rhythms, sometimes whispers. Did Tesla build a device that let him listen to the dead, or just the noise of the universe? He was never sure. But he kept listening. You can build one for yourself. I've included a link in the description to a website that claims to have a working design. I've never built it. I can't vouch for the website or the device. But if you're brave, you can try. You can build one. You can listen. But you might not like what you hear. Tesla and Edison rarely agreed, but on this they shared something. Grief. The world around them was drowning in loss. War, illness. Most people never got to say goodbye. Even the most rational minds asked, could death really be the end? And if there was a small chance, wouldn't you want to hear one last voice? One more, I'm still looking out for you. One final, I love you. They did, and they tried. One of the illustrations in this story contains something that doesn't belong, something out of place. If you spotted it, drop a timestamp in the comments below and claim your bragging rights. We've only just scratched the surface of the eerie world of cursed journeys, and your next mystery is already waiting. Just tap the screen and dive in. And if you haven't yet, please hit subscribe. Small channels have to fight to get noticed, and every like, comment and sub helps more than you know. I'm Nico, and I'll see you in the next mystery.